I love you too, but you can't be
yes!
looking at me during the episode.
It's recording. It's recording. Oh,
Yay.
crap. I'm cutting this whole bit out.
We made it. We did it.
Okay.
Look at us. First time. Maybe because we did an episode not too long ago.
Yeah.
But are we
It
leaving...
didn't unplug the computer.
True. I guess we'll leave this in because...
You can always cut it later.
Yeah, I know, but it's part of the fun is the unhingedness of how we start because none of us know what we're doing completely. And so we're just kind of figuring it out, and we're like a minute into this and still haven't introduced anything.
Hi!
Hello!
Hi, friends.
Okay.
Coffee and rum or something like that?
Coffee and rum. Oh, right.
Mm-hmm.
Back at it. We said hello?
Did we say hello?
I don't remember. Hello.
I don't know. This Cafe Amaro says I don't know.
I said hello.
We say hello. Welcome to... Back? Welcome to?
Mm-hmm.
You know, back if you've been listening.
Yeah, if you've been
welcome
listening.
if you haven't. This is Romance on the Rocks, a drinky book club. We talk romance novels and booze, or boozy drinks, or cocktails, or beer, or wine, or whatever the fuck we're feeling. Today, shit, we should introduce ourselves. I'm Christina.
I'm Laurel.
Oh man, those are some boozy seeds.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
And that's Claire.
Laurel's showing me boozy South African seeds.
Hell
Amarula.
yeah, Amarula is
Apparently they have like a
awesome.
17% alcohol content when you like
It's good
ferment
stuff.
them.
Really good stuff.
Okay, so we need to find some of that and drink it one of these days. And we are drinking variations of whiskey and coffee.
Cold brew and Cafe Amaro. Cafe Amaro's the bomb, friends.
And wild turkey. I have both, so I'm extra
Yeah.
tipsy-ish.
Stina has the best liver out of all of us, so she's doubling up there.
I always double up. I like my booze. Well,
She works it out well.
Yeah.
We've discussed this. I have a minor alcohol thing. It's not a problem because I don't drink that often, but I have a very high tolerance. That's what we'll say.
Again, you have the best liver out of all
Yes.
of us, you lucky bitch.
And so today will be what we like to call the quickie episode. It's not going to be quick. We just call it that because one of us has read a book that the others haven't, and we're going to tell them about it. I read a book, I'm going to tell them about it.
Yes?
Yes.
What's
Yes,
the book?
I think so.
Yes.
Yeah, that sounds right.
And let's just not go into the details of what we're drinking too much. It's Wild Turkey 101 bourbon, easy to find, go for it, and it's a Cafe Amaro from the J. Rieger Distillery.
But any Cafe Amaro and cold brew will do you.
Yes.
You know what's also delicious in cold brew is tequila cream, friends.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, good alcohol in coffee.
Yes.
With the right like
Irish
sweeteners
cream
and or milks or dairy substitute that you like. Just make it what you like, right?
Or almond milk Irish cream. You do you.
Or what was it? There's that chai latte whiskey thing.
Yeah, so there's a drink that a local bar makes that Stina and I frequent that has chai. It's like chai, tea, almond milk, or oat milk. It has, what else was in that
Whiskey Amaro.
There was whiskey
it was a lot.
and Cafe Amaro, maybe? I have to look up the recipe again. It's been a while since I've
But
made
it's good. It's strong, and we like that.
It goes down real easy.
Christina also had some coffee ice cubes that helped
Yes, I like to make coffee ice cubes because sometimes I forget to drink my coffee while I'm doing stuff in the morning, and I don't like watered down coffee. So you make coffee ice cubes.
Mm-hmm.
Take your favorite cold brew or, leftover coffee, stick it in an ice maker, and there you go.
And as my avatar indicates, I live on cold brew and spite, so,
Yeah.
I'm just
caffeine, chaos, cuss words, and booze.
Yeah.
Details on the liquors we have will be on the webpage and possibly on our socials if I get around to it.
What's the book?
Okay, so the book is a little different from the ones we've been talking about. Because the other ones we've talked about have been, intro spicy, moderately spicy.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought we could use a break.
We sure could.
Some of that. And we could use something where more dicks are involved. Well, not more dicks. It's a couple. But there's lots of sexy times to be had.
A sexy break.
Yes. It's smutty and maybe slightly unhinged. I'll set this up a little before I intro the book. I first came across this book, I want to say I was in my last year of college. So I've had Kindle Unlimited since a long time ago. Mm-hmm. And this was on Kindle Unlimited. And it drew me in because it was it was panty melting. Let's just call it that. Like for a college student.
But it's not on Kindle Unlimited now.
No, it's not on Kindle Unlimited now, and it's stuck in my brain because you only had so many books you could get on Kindle Unlimited, so I checked it out, or whatever you want to call it, returned it, but it's stuck in my brain because of certain scenes that happen in this book. And I went back, I want to say 10 years ago, to try to find it. And it took me a minute, and then it wasn't on Kindle Unlimited, so I ended up buying the book. Because it's one that you go back to because it's slightly unhinged, very spicy. It's a good, like, sexy read. It is called School Me Dirty by Parker Gray. It is a professor-student romance. There is an age gap, and it is kind of kinky.
Kinda or a lot?
You said Parker Gray?
Yeah.
Yes. Well,
So there's 6 books in the series,
yes, there's
I see.
6 books in the series, and links to the books in this series will be on our webpage as well. But this is like the second book, and it's kinky, but it's not like BDSM quite kinky. It's not like that level of kinky, but there's good chunk of kink. It's very spicy. Voyeurism, no, not quite voyeurism, closely more like exhibitionist adjacent, like the fear of getting the excitement from getting caught kind of thing, but not getting caught, because again, college professor student romance.
I'm intrigued.
Ooh, okay, so I'm looking it up, and the first part says, I'm hard on my students.
Yes. And the rest of the synopsis goes, all semester, Melody has been sitting quietly in the back of my class, a straight-A student with a perfect 4.0 GPA. A nice, well-behaved, polite, well-behaved good girl. The kind of good girl I want to see on her knees in front of me, those big wide eyes begging me. Touching her could get me fired and barred from teaching ever again. But when she asks me to be her thesis advisor, I say yes, and soon, sweet, almost innocent Melody is in my office. Her ripe curves and pouty lips practically begging me to take her, dominate her, claim her. Make this good girl my dirty girl. It's just an innocent crush. I know it's a total cliche to have a crush on your professor, but I can't help it. He's regularly handsome, incredibly smart, totally in control. And even from the back row, I can see the monster in his pants.
Oh my.
Oh.
I know these are dangerous games I'm playing with him. I know if we get caught, the consequences could mean total disaster. But every time he growls my name, I practically lose my mind. Take me, Professor, make me yours. Okay, so it starts off, and she is already, so it is Melody, and ultimately you'll find out the professor is Ethan, or she calls him Professor Sharp. And he's a Roman history professor.
Ooh.
And she is 20.
Okay.
They don't really say his age, but I want to say there's probably like maybe a 10, 15-year age difference.
I was going to say, he's probably mid-30s if he's a college professor.
And she says thesis, but I'm like, that's more like a master's thing than your undergraduate, unless you're doing like PhD undergrad to master's like in one thing to have like a blended degree, because you can do blended degrees and have that.
You can. I wonder if she means thesis more of like more like a senior project or like a capstone
because
project.
at the end they talk about her going for her PhD, so I feel like she's in a.
Gotcha.
I think the writer, the author, maybe got the timing of getting some of these things a little mixed up.
That's odd, but oh well.
Yeah, but if she took like let's assume that she's super smart and she may have taken like college level classes.
But they call her a sophomore.
Yeah, but she could have taken. So there's a system
where you
by
can
which
take, and then you might be a sophomore.
Yeah, you can get credit for college classes
in your
high
later
school.
years. Yeah,
yeah,
but
and so you could technically finish an undergrad degree in like 2 years if you like are like
or if you
super
did a
smart.
junior college and then
If you're super smart and studious, you could technically finish your undergrad.
So it's a little weird in that, but they say she's 20.
Okay.
I mean, it's a stretch, but plausible.
And so she starts out really like innocent, like she doesn't talk about
they always
her
do.
her pussy or anything. She's like, I'm tingling down there.
Oh gosh.
And
I'm tingling
like,
in my panties.
She's wearing like short skirts and like very like schoolgirl esque.
Okay.
In college, which I'm like, okay, I don't know about anybody else, but all I know is, as a former Catholic schoolgirl and private schoolgirl, you do not wear schoolgirl's clothes in college.
Look, I've seen enough hentai, I know where this is going.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, she's, like, drooling over him, and then she goes, like, after class, she goes and asks him, Like, she wants him to see her as a woman, not a little girl. Then stop. My whole thing with this is, like, stop acting like one.
You don't have a fully formed frontal lobe, okay?
And so she goes in and introduces herself, and, like, he knows who she is and asks for the to be her advisor, and, like, the innuendo starts, like, immediately. I don't have any bookmarks or anything, because this is the one that's, like, a staple.
Is it good banter?
Yeah, it's good, but it's kind of
it's more innuendo than banter.
And so she's like, he's like, I'm hard on my students, and she's like, that's okay.
That's a euphemism.
Like, winky winky, invites them over to, like, I guess he has his advisees over to his place to do, like, a discussion, have hot chocolate, so everyone gets to know each other.
Yeah.
And so she's like...
I've done it. Yeah.
So they're, like, fantasizing about each other, and, like...
But it was an older white woman and not...
And so
but college is a whole other thing, too. Like, it was really
especially
weird.
in romance novels, too. And so, like, they agree, she leaves, and then, so it switches between his perspective and her perspective. And, like, right after she leaves, he immediately starts masturbating to her in his office.
That's not weird or anything.
And then mentions, like, how many times he's come in his hand and in his tissues in his office to this girl over the course of the semester.
Just this girl? Okay.
Yeah.
Golly.
Like, he is, like, fascinated with her.
Honey.
And then...
You're an adult man.
And then, so, he runs home, and, okay, it's in one of the early chapters where it's like, I'll ride you hard, is what he says to her about his students.
Yeah.
And, like, that's constantly, like, in a loop in her brain. And so she gets home.
That's not a normal
but also doesn't that feel like the reverse?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, maybe.
But,
shouldn't she be saying that to him?
Not as a student.
Well, again, she's had sex one time with one other person. So she's, like...
Fair, but he's also, like, basically masturbating to a 20-year-old.
Yes.
Like...
I mean...
She's not even old enough to drink, and he's like, yeah, that's what gets me off.
Yes. And, like... So she gets home, and, like, her roommate's like, oh, you got a package, and she has no idea what the package is. She gets home, and then she opens it up and realizes she got drunk at a party that she got dragged to by her roommate and ordered, apparently, this monster dildo.
Okay.
Oh.
I mean, we've all ordered random shit off of Amazon.
Well, drunk. But, like, apparently it's, like, this monster dildo that is, like, she doesn't know if it's gonna fit, and she's like, it's not even how big.
And when you say monster dildo, you mean, like, a big dildo, not
yes,
like
not like tentacle dildo. Like, not Confetti
Just
Johnson.
want to clarify.
But, like, a fake girthy.
She meant huge.
She meant
Yeah,
girthy
she meant
and
huge.
long.
Yeah,
like,
can't wrap her hand around it.
Yes, that kind of dildo.
Yeah,
And she's like, she's like, I don't even know if this is, like, she now that she knows kind of what his dick looks like, because in the office, like, he gets up, and after they've been talking, he's, like, hard as fuck, and you can see it through his slacks, and so she now knows exactly how big he is, and she's like, this dildo isn't big enough.
Are you ever like, is it a grower or a shower?
Yeah, exactly. Looks can be deceiving.
Well, no, because I guess during the lectures, like, you can see the outline of it while it's, like, flaccid.
What, does he have one of those dicks that, like, goes down to his knees? Like super penis where he, like, passes out when he gets an erection?
I picture like, well, who is it? Like Aerosmith in the 70s, and they have the really tight pants, and you can see it, and you're like, oh.
Yeah.
Or like in like the shows where like White Lotus or someone where I think Theo James had a prosthetic dick that was massive because it was part of the show. But like, so he's supposed to have this really big one. And so she gets this monster, like, suction cuppy dildo. Okay. And she's like, she's so horny that she's about to fuck it before she cleans it.
Girl, no.
But she's like, she tells herself to clean it.
Sanitize that bitch, friends.
And then you know what she does? She suction cups it to her bathroom, like her bathtub.
Okay.
And
what part of the bathtub?
Like the rim of the bathtub.
Okay.
And like trying to figure out the like gymnastics of how she does, or like she suction cups it to the wall or something. I don't know. And then she just tries to write it.
Honey.
And like she's so horny that she doesn't realize, like, she doesn't think she's gonna fit, and the next thing she knows, she's on it, like, fully. And like the minute she's on it, she comes.
Oh.
That's not a thing.
No!
I don't think that's a thing either.
That's not a thing, friends.
Like, the minute she realizes her butt's hit the rim of the bathtub and the whole monster is inside her, she comes. I'm like...
Well, I mean, I think for women it is mostly mental, but, more friction than that? I don't know.
You need like clitoral stimulation.
Well, but it takes
yeah.
time to figure. It takes time to figure out like what
You like?
And she
what
hasn't
you
had
like.
good sex before this.
Exactly. She's had sex precisely once, apparently, right? I think this
Or
gets
with
into
Or with
like
one person.
our issue with like virgin sex, right?
Yes.
Is that it's never as good as the books make it out to
And
be.
you don't just
Oh,
like
God,
you just
no.
don't sit on the dildo and come.
And not with
I'm
sex
sorry.
toys. Okay,
No one
that
sits
takes
on a
time.
dildo.
Yes.
That takes time, but also like I don't generally get off that way.
This is
Also,
the first 10% of this book, okay?
Most people don't. Besides, most people don't come from just
penetration.
penetration
No.
anyway.
It hits you in the wrong place anyway, and it's always kind of weird the first time around because like, yeah,
And,
there's
like,
a lot of nerve endings on
We're just
your
gonna say she's
cervix.
excited she got it all in there.
Yeah.
Like, she's like trying to like the gymnastics and like trying to figure out like I could not figure out the gymnastics of it because like she's kind of right.
Girl, you
it,
put it
but,
on the
like,
rim of the tub, okay? There's a whole 2 inches between one leg and the other. Of course it's weird.
And but she's like braced on a wall, and I'm like, how are you? Are you like sitting on the tub, facing the wall? Are you straddling? Like they don't. What? I don't get it.
Are you doing like a?
And then what kind of shower door?
Squat
Is there a
on
shower
that?
curtain? Because then, okay, that makes more sense. Or is it like the one we have where it's an actual, like, door where you've got
Yeah, it's like a
rails?
door. on a tub.
That rail will get in the way of the
No, that rail
suction
will
cup.
get
It's
in the way.
gonna be an
Yeah,
actual bath shower, like a bathtub with a shower.
Yeah.
Yeah, that has like a curtain, like in my
Yeah, so
apartment.
it's like stuff like that. And it's like, she gets all freaked, like, she's imagining and fantasizing.
Is it a dorm? Because like you share a
No,
lot.
it's an apartment. So
Okay.
she's a little older.
Okay, oh that's right. Okay, good.
Okay, but still, you could have a curtain, right? And you could still put it on the rim.
I was just thinking about the 48 people I shared a bathroom with in the dorm. No.
Okay, but she's also 20.
So she's
now
not
that
in
you
the
make
dorm
that
anymore.
point, now that
Right.
you make that point, she's also 20.
So she's most likely not in a dorm.
No.
And she may have a roommate, but she may not have like.
They don't
she's
have-
probably not in a dorm, but she could be.
One
She has a roommate.
female roommate or something.
Yeah, she has one roommate and it's a shared bathroom, but they
Yeah.
lock the door. But like,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I didn't have sex in my dorm showers, but I know people that did. Because I've walked in and seen 2 feet, and I'm just like, I don't care. Walk out.
Yeah.
Let
Still,
them fuck
I
it.
mean,
Not-
you do you, but still, friends. This is
Still
like,
not a very
again,
clean-
It's
place
like
to be
fucking
doing
in the public bathrooms.
But
Yeah.
probably even worse. I don't know. Maybe.
Because God knows how many. Granted, they were fucking in the women's bathroom, so I would say it was a little cleaner.
Yeah, but still, there's a
and-
certain amount of exhibitionism that you have to like possess in order for that to be like.
I'm okay with
I'm
exhibition.
not even a
attractive.
germy person, and I'm okay with the exhibitionism. It's still like the sharing it with 48 other people.
Yeah, it's the germy. It's the
And I'm not even
they're
a
not
germaphobe.
clean. But I don't mind the exhibition because I've kind of done that.
But yeah, that does it for people, obviously, right? But like,
There's been sex in front of other people.
still, I would not have done it in like the dorm bathrooms.
Maybe.
Right?
I mean,
Like-
obviously, my own bathroom at home, yeah. But
But like,
The bathroom. There's a whole. Again, this is the whole conversation about bathroom sex.
it's just not easy.
No.
Okay,
yeah, but
okay,
even
okay.
just going and taking a shower, I felt like I had to put on a hazmat suit just to go take a fucking shower in the dorms.
Yeah,
right?
with the flip
Yeah.
flops.
So like,
and
she has to
everything.
clearly be in her own apartment.
Yes.
Okay, so keep going.
So we've
So-
established that.
And then she's like, she's so horny, like she has to masturbate multiple times before she runs into him.
Again,
Oh, God.
Yes.
friends.
So like, they go to. We're gonna get into some details because this book you have to go into the details, and we're not talking like everybody, so I can tell them, and I talk fast, obviously. So she's masturbated before she goes to her professor's house.
Okay.
Okay.
And so it's the coffee and they were whatever. And so they have the discussion. He's horny, she's horny. They're having this. And then it's time to go.
Okay.
She forgets her scarf.
Okay.
Quote unquote.
So
Forgets
this is
her
the
scarf.
MacGuffin for her going back in.
So she goes back in and then they start chatting and she tells him what her thesis is going to be about and about like sex in olden days or some variation of that.
Well,
Women's
what is
sexuality.
her?
That's
what
what
is her?
she's...
Hold on. What is her major that she's going for?
So they're in it's Roman history.
And she
kinda.
wants to know about how the Romans fucked.
Well, she wants to it's Roman mores surrounding marriage and sexuality.
Okay, fair.
And
She's
so,
having her thesis about sexuality and she's only done it once. How likely is that?
yeah, maybe she just thinks about sex all the time and was just horny but never did it. I don't know.
I mean, maybe she was into psychology and then like got interested in the
Yeah, but-
sex side of it.
I don't know.
Okay,
I don't
keep
know.
going, keep going.
Yeah.
And then so she's acting all shy and coy, and he's like, okay, and then
She just came like 5 times on a dildo. How is she acting shy and
I know,
coy?
yeah. So it goes on, and then he takes her into his office at home, and then shows a book from It's essentially Roman porn.
I was gonna say, is it like the Roman Kama Sutra?
Yes. And it's the reproductions is just pictures, and so you've got a picture of a woman and a man fucking, a woman being spit roasted.
That's not on the same.
Romans off?
That's not on the same vein to me.
Yeah, that's a big jump.
A woman fucking another woman, you know, and so he's hard. She's like. And then she, like, is nervous, and then she just goes, have you ever done any of this before? And he's like, yes, but never with a student. And so she's embarrassed.
Why did he make that distinction?
Because she's a student, and he's trying to, like, draw a line, but he's
fair, but, like, he's leading the witness at that point.
Uh-huh. And then so he tells her he could get fired, and so I'm not going to do this. And she's like, I'm sorry, I understand.
There was no implication that she wanted to have sex with him. He's just showing her a sexy book, and he's like, oh, by the way,
but he can they say, like, he can smell how horny she is.
No, that's... What?
Well, the book I'm reading does that, but that's because they are not human. They're, like, high fae.
Right. But, like, so... And so she apologizes, and he's like, I don't want you to be sorry. And then he immediately tells her, unbutton your shirt.
What?
Well, that escalated quickly.
Yes. And then so she does it, and he's staring at her. He tells her to touch herself. And then he tells her to, like, explain what she thinks about when she's masturbating. So she's like, you.
And she's done it precisely once on a dildo 4 times.
And then so she's like,
today.
You know, today. Like, what are you imagining?
15 minutes ago.
And he's like, you touching me. And she's like, touching you where? And he's like, on my vagina. And he's like, really? You can't. And he's like, you mean your pussy or your clit and stuff like that. And then he's like, he tells her to sit. And then to lift her skirt.
At least this is anatomically accurate.
And lift her skirt and, like, spread her legs.
Okay.
And what then you find out, she's not wearing any panties.
Oh, what?
Of course not.
She went to this...
Yes, because she was so horny.
I'm so horny I forgot to put on my underwear.
Yes. And then, like, drapes her legs over an armchair. Like, so she's, like, spread-eagled on an armchair.
With no panties.
With
That's
no
very
panties on.
convenient for him.
Yes. And then she just starts masturbating in front of him, and he takes his dick out.
Okay.
She comes and calls him professor, and then he tells her to turn and look, and he's like so horny because like she's masturbating in front of him, and she's got this essentially virgin,
and he's got like this prehensile third leg.
Yes, and her pussy's hanging out for him, and he's horny because it's like ooh, almost virginal, right?
So fucking weird.
This is how it gets even. No, don't worry about it. It gets even more. Again,
it gets worse.
This is we're only a quarter of the way, not even a quarter of the way through this book.
Oh my god!
And they're already like she's masturbating in front of him.
Yeah.
And he turns and he's got a reproduction of a massive stone dildo.
Okay.
Oh.
That is like his size.
Whoa. How did he get that?
And like she looks at it and she doesn't know, and then he maybe thinks he might have to say something. Nope, she immediately takes it and starts fucking herself with it.
Oh.
With the giant stone
That
dildo.
could have been an artifact.
Okay.
And it's not clean.
Okay. Yeah, I don't. Yeah.
And it's not like it's got like a suction or a grippy.
No, sweetheart.
It's literally just the cock.
Sweetheart,
there's no ball. Like it's like it fully in like I.
Who did he hand this to before?
Why does he have a dildo on display?
She just put a dusty dildo in her vagina. What the hell, man?
Oh god. Oh god.
It's been sitting on his shelf somewhere. I'm just gonna stick this right in my body.
If you take yourself away from the unhingedness, it's spicy, but it's unhinged.
It's an artifact.
But like you
someone might not have done that with it.
No,
for,
he's a guy. He has not dusted
this
thing.
He says it's a reproduction.
Oh, okay. I was
But
like, someone did that 2,000 years ago.
And like she's like, oh my god, this feels great, you know, and does all the verbs and like, and he's masturbating, so he comes and just shoots cum everywhere.
Oh god.
Of course he does.
Of course he does, right?
Yeah.
Like it goes past his desk onto her chair.
Of course it does.
Oh, come on.
Granted, they don't tell you like how far, you know, and who the fuck.
So now we've got cum bullets.
Apparently, he can hit the ceiling. I don't know. And so he's like, I can't touch you while you're my student. She's like, when? He's like, after finals. And so she's 20. So you know what she's
does taking finals make her not his student?
I think it's like after grades are submitted and she's no longer his like student getting graded.
Okay, but what if she like goes to his like 301 class in Roman dildos or something like that?
Right. But anyway, And then, because she's 20, she starts sexting him naughty photos.
Oh, God.
Girl.
No.
Honey.
No.
Like, she's smart-ish, because no face in it, but, like, he's got
Okay, so how did we go from this woman is, like, essentially a virgin, to, like, coming 4 times on a dildo, to knowing how to, like, effectively sext someone?
I mean, it's, like, he says, they're immature, almost childish. Quote, this is a quote from the book. Her posing naked in front of her bathroom mirror, her in the shower wearing a wet white t-shirt. Like, they're immature. But
Fair,
but it makes
also,
him
like,
masturbate multiple times.
What?
And then, like, he's talking with his, like, department chair or something and gets a photo of her, like, spread eagle or something with a dildo in her.
Like,
And
as he's, like, talking with the department chair?
Yes!
This is why you don't sext people, okay?
Right. And
And
so,
don't have it on your work stuff.
and then, like, you realize he has a reputation, apparently.
Oh.
Where, I guess,
For handing people the dusty Roman dildo to come on?
apparently having a sexual relationship with one of his students, and she tried to blackmail for grades. One time, and so it did all the thing.
That is the most realistic part of this story so far.
Right? It's so unhinged. So yeah, and he's trying to, like, cover, like, oh, he's getting porn, and then he's like, the chair does, like, I don't believe. He's like, okay, I'm just seeing someone, it's nothing major, not admitting to the fact that it's a student. And so they keep doing this. She keeps sexting him even though she knows she shouldn't, and he's just like, he goes along with it because he's horny.
Of course.
He finally calls her, and he's like, I just got a text message with my chairperson and of you about to fuck something purple. Because it's a purple giant dildo.
Okay.
And so he's...
Is this the one that she, like, bought?
Yeah, it's the giant one that she fucked on the bathtub.
So now she likes it.
Yes.
Okay.
And so he's now talking to her on the phone, and they're doing phone sex. He's telling her what to do with it. And then all of a sudden she realizes, oh, my phone has video capability. So she's FaceTiming him. And this is where it's a little like, okay, how the hell does this work? She's, like, in the shower. It's stuck to the shower wall, and he's, like, telling her to, like, fuck it on the phone in front of him.
Okay. That's not weird or anything.
I'm like, okay, first of all, where's, like, the phone is balanced, like, on the sink, but she's fucking it in the shower? Like, you can't see shit.
Okay, back to the shower thing. It's hard enough with someone that's actually working with you, let alone an inanimate object.
Right!
But also, like, when it gets wet, the, like, suction tends to, like, come undone.
Yeah, but also, a lot of water does not help lubrication.
No, water is not lubricant.
No.
Listeners.
And, like, she's apparently so drippy wet, it doesn't matter.
Oh, God. Okay, sure.
Sure.
And, like,
yeah.
As horny as I've been, and as much as, like, you know, foreplay and everything, like, sometimes you still need a little lube.
Well, especially with something silicone.
Yes!
Not a real one.
Yes, or the dude's wearing a condom, and the condom's lubricated.
Yeah.
So it's like, and so she's getting all horny, and like I was trying. First time I read it was hot. The second time I read it, I was like, okay, it's hot, but I'm confused with the gymnastics that are happening. Like, is it
you
a
have
tiny
to just
bathroom?
suspend the reality and enjoy it and move on.
Yeah, we had to do it with the first book.
Yeah.
Yes. And so she can't think, and she's like video chatting, and I'm like, okay. This book was written, let's see, hold on. Let's find out when it was written.
Because, like, today that would be super easy. But a little ways back, that would have not been so easy.
This book was in 2016.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we had cameras on our phones.
Yeah.
But the quality...
FaceTime was okay.
Oh, you know what? This was probably a re-release or something, because it was...
But the quality wasn't great on camera phones back at that time.
That was iPhone time.
Yeah, but, like, the quality has gotten better in the last
And, like, you don't
few
think
years.
to zoom and, like, some of these things, so, like, they don't talk about it in too detail. And, like, then he tells her to come, and she does. Because apparently that's
she
how
can
it
do
works.
it on command now. She's had sex once, come on a dildo 4 times, and now she can do it on command. Yeah.
And, like, he's
that
trying...
checks out.
He's trying to... and then so we move on. He's trying to focus on grading papers, and he's still getting naughty photos from her. And then she randomly shows up at his office, and he's like, okay, where's her paper? She didn't turn in her final thing, and she shows up and tries to get him to fuck her in the office after she's turned it in.
No.
And he doesn't do it. She says, I don't have a Professor, I'll tell you a secret. I don't have a gag reflex.
What?
How does she know this?
Apparently she blew one guy she fucked, she blew. And then she got marriage proposals because he was telling everybody she doesn't gag.
There could have been a lot of blowjobs prior to the one person she did.
Yeah, but I feel like that would be like suggested elsewhere in the book that like she's only done the full Monty one time.
But she's super good at blowjobs.
But she's super good at blowjobs. So many blowjobs, man.
Everyone
she's
in her high school.
So good at blowjobs, guys.
Like, he pushes her out the door and he's like, I'll make you pay for that on Monday when, like, grades are done or whatever. Okay. And so this girl goes off to the library in, like, this dusty corner to study and focus. But she's so horny.
Okay.
And she's trying to, like, read Moby Dick. Which, side note,
Which is not a sexy book.
No! Okay, look, I don't DNF books, usually.
The only thing sexy about Moby Dick is the dick part of the title.
Okay, in high school, I was going through this phase where I was reading classic novels and books.
Same.
And so I decided to read Moby Dick.
Okay.
Here's the problem I have with that book. All the interesting shit that happens in that book is in the last, like, 70 pages of this 470-page book.
The rest of it is dry as fuck.
I got so fucking bored with the 400... I'm like, okay, backtrack. I'm a big ocean baby. I love the ocean. I love the sea. I love sea life, like, full on. I have tattoos of sea life and mermaids and all that crap. I got to, right before all the climax, all the fight, all the interesting stuff, and said, fuck this shit. It's 400 pages of water and the color blue. And so I'm like...
And this guy is a raging horn dog for this white whale.
I'm like, I can't. Like, I know all the interesting stuff is happening. I know what happens in, like, all of the interesting shit. Mm-hmm. I can't do this. I'm done. Move on. Like, I gave up on this book. And she's so horny. She's still reading about this book. And she's thinking about blowing her professor.
Mm-hmm. Just like Captain Ahab was thinking about
blowing that whale.
Moby Dick. Yeah.
The whale would kill him.
Yeah, definitely. The whale is a hell of a lot bigger than he is.
And she's like, no one else is there, so she decides to sit at the desk in one of the study carrels and, like, spread eagle, get her leg up, and start masturbating.
Sorry, friends. Refreshing the drink here.
Re-up the drink.
She's also...
This is so unhinged.
But it's perfect!
I have to keep drinking.
And, like, she's not wearing panties again.
Girl.
She's into that. Okay.
Does she even own underpants at this point? Like, friends.
Yes, she does. There's talk about her
honey.
Underpants. And, like... She's fantasizing. She didn't bring the dildo with her. She wished she had, but she's like, I can't because what if this monster purple dick falls out of my backpack? What am I going to say?
Oh, out of her backpack. Okay.
Like, again, she's in college or grad school or whatever, and she's got a backpack and dresses in skirts, and apparently she's wearing garters, and...
Okay, but how do you wear garters if you're not wearing underpants?
Well, you can do the garter belt over the underpants and...
Okay, that's fair.
But, like...
And the garter belt.
And tights. And so she starts masturbating and thinking about the professor, and then the professor, she hears something.
Where is she?
She's in the library. Oh. Somewhere in the library.
I always wanted to do it in the stacks at my library.
Yeah, like she's in a, like, crazy, like, study area in the library.
Oh, no, that's not sexy. The stacks are sexy.
Well, yeah, she's in a not used study area in the stacks, off the beaten track.
Okay, but, like, have y'all ever been to, like, a college campus library? They are silent. Because there are people who are there studying.
Yeah, but there's like...
So, like, you couldn't,
I love the
like...
smell of the old books and, like, in those
but
stacks
still,
where
what
no one
I'm
else is
saying
there.
is that
like...
it's impossible to have utterly silent sex in a college campus library.
Oh, I'd be willing to try
without being caught.
I always wanted to do that.
In the study rooms, it works.
Oh, I don't want a study room.
No.
I want to be in the stacks.
I thought you were the exhibitionist. I thought you wanted to get caught.
Yeah,
I don't want to get caught.
But in the study room, you can be as loud as you need in some cases. Because you can't hear shit in there.
But still.
Yeah, but also, my college campuses, there was no room there was no spot in the library that was completely hidden from people.
Oh, see, we had a huge old library. It was awesome. Like, it was like a fantasy come true.
You know?
Damn it, why didn't I do that?
Hey man,
Look,
it's never too late, but also
Mr. Laurel and I need to go do that.
Yeah.
Dude, I fucked a guy in his fraternity, the game room.
I think every room in a frat has been fucked in.
And his frat bros were all outside.
Yes.
Like, and we came out and they all clapped. And I'm just like shaking my head. They're like, maybe not clapping. There was a whole situation.
That's different. That's
That's different.
He
anywhere in a frat house is up for grabs.
He had like it was a combination of whiskey and coke dick.
So, like, he kept getting limp?
It wasn't great.
Oh,
I didn't fuck him again.
Yeah.
Gotta be able to hold your liquor and hold it up.
I mean, we've all had...
He was not a good sex buddy.
We've all had bad sex.
Honestly, I should have fucked one of his frat bros, honestly. Some of them were much hotter.
Yeah, hindsight's always 20/20.
Okay, back to the story.
Anyway, and then so now he's like, he graded her paper, and so now they're in the library, and he's like, I thought we could have both have a break. So she ends up blowing him in the library somehow.
Okay.
And she has to ask for permission, because he's kind of a dominant, but not quite. It's just because he's older.
Can I fuck you, daddy?
No, it's more of a professor. It's professor.
Can I fuck you, professor?
And so she has to ask permission to touch his cock and stuff, and blow her cock. Like, can I lick it? Can I suck it?
That's really fucking weird, guys. That's
He
really
should have
fucking
taken
weird.
her home instead of doing it on campus. If he was really trying not to cross a line. But okay, it's sexier there. I guess.
Yes, it is sexier.
But they didn't go all the way, so it's okay.
And like, so they talk about her. She's never had a gag reflex and didn't realize how big of a deal it was until she hooked up with a frat guy.
Okay, but how does she? Even if you have no gag reflex, how is she doing with his apparently monster stick?
She gets it all. Like, she deep throats it.
Fair.
Okay.
And
that's very convenient, though.
Yes. And then she's like, oh my god, I didn't believe I could actually take his entire dick.
Okay.
And so he just fucks her face.
I have no gag reflex, but I have no idea how I take
And then he comes and she swallows it and whatever. And then now this is where it gets weird.
Yep.
It hasn't been weird up to this point?
Well, it gets weirder. Like, the physics and the geometry doesn't make sense again. Because now he eats her out. Except, they talk, so he gets her on the desk. And so, first of all, you think she's facing him, but then all of a sudden, she's got her arms on the desk, and she's, like, bent over the desk. And I'm like, did he flip her and we don't know about it?
Did she teleport?
Like, it's
they
like,
just don't mention the flipping?
Yeah.
Or something. It's like, I don't know, like, she starts like this, and then somehow ends up like this. Sorry, I'm demonstrating. She's sitting on the desk facing the professor, and then the next thing you know, like, her face is in the desk kind of situation. And this teleporting, changing positions happens a lot in this book, where the geometry doesn't make sense because something's missing. Like, a flip is missing, a turnaround is missing, manhandling her is missing. Mm-hmm. And then he eats her out on the study carrel. Either... No,
he eats her out in various positions
that don't quite make sense. And
that's still in the library.
Yes, and then he talks dirty and tells her, like, you have to ask permission for all of this stuff. And then finally they arrange to meet in his office on that following Monday at like 5 p.m. And so she goes, but he doesn't show up because he's stuck in an ethics meeting. And so
how convenient.
So she starts to think he's just fucking with her and whatever, because he can't get a hold of her, so she goes and gets a cupcake. The student union.
Okay.
He calls her after they're out of the ethics meeting, like an hour and a half later, and she's pouting and, like, butthurt because she's 20 and he didn't keep her promise.
Mm-hmm.
And she doesn't understand that, like...
Life.
Yeah.
Also, why didn't you just tell her you had a meeting before?
Like, by the way, I have a meeting, it might run long.
Right.
Like,
yeah. Okay.
Because we all know.
Yeah, but
we've all been professionals. We know meetings run long.
That's fair.
Can run long.
That's fair.
So, like, I've had back-to-back meetings pre-retirement where I'm like, look, I've got another meeting, it might run long, I'm sorry.
But I'm also the world's slowest texter, so, you know.
Or, you know, if you're in an ethics meeting, you're probably not going to take your phone out.
Especially if you're, like, not... Your sexy student has definitely texted you a, you know, horny picture of you when you're having a conversation with your department
you know
chair.
not
Who is running the ethics meeting?
Who's running the ethics meeting? You definitely don't open your cell phone after that.
No.
So at least he's not a complete idiot.
Right. And so she's freaking out, and so he calls her, and there's horrible reception because of where she is or whatever. So he goes and finds her, and then takes her up to a study room, and then fucks her over a desk.
Oh, okay. So he waits until after the ethics meeting.
Goes find her. Takes off her backpack, and so the image of this I have is like a schoolgirl situation because she's in a dress, she's still in her garter, she's still not wearing underpants.
I don't think she owns underpants.
Granted, to be fair, for this situation, she knows she's gonna go fuck him.
Yeah, okay, so she's ready. I get it.
To not wear underpants,
but she hasn't been all along anyway.
But look, she hasn't been wearing underpants this whole book, like
so far. And they don't get naked. Like, he pulls his pants down and flips her skirt up and, like, opens her shirt to play with her boobs.
Okay.
But, again, this is another situation where the gymnastics doesn't make sense. Because she's, like, he tells her he's going to fuck her over his desk. Fine, that's hot. Mm-hmm. But then she starts, like, again, one of those situations where she's facing him and then not facing him and, like, got a leg somewhere. She got the backpack on, but the backpack's not on.
Look, at this point, she's come 4 times on a dildo. He's eaten her out in various positions.
Blown him without a gag reflex in the library.
Yeah, she has no gag reflex. Like, at this point, suspension of disbelief.
Fucked herself with a stone dildo in his office.
A dusty stone dildo.
I'm picturing, like, your butt on the edge of the desk, but then, like, leaning over the desk. I don't know. I mean, that's doable, but... not, like, anything too weird on a hard desk.
Did she, like, spit on his dick again?
No, there's no spitting on a dick. He's, like... He's just, like, fucking her in, like, a study room that's lit with computers. So I don't even know, like, the rooms that are lit that have, like, the study labs that have the computers. So not only have room to bend someone over and fuck them on. I'm sorry. There's a computer in the way.
Okay, but there'd have to be, like, a lot of computers in there that are all on, that are all just on their screensaver for it to be lit enough for them to be like, oh yeah, the room was lit with computer screensavers.
To fuck.
They didn't want everyone to see them.
Hopefully and he has to claim her, because he's like, I want her. It's like, she's 20. She's not going to say no. And she's hot for you, like.
Right.
And so, like, yeah. There's a lot of fuck. To be fair, this is a spicy read. There's lots of fucking happens.
Yeah,
and,
no plot.
Well, that's the point, but...
Yeah. And then, so apparently, up until now, she's got pubic hair. But then she decided to shave herself just to see how it felt for him.
Oh, friends, don't do that.
Oh, we all did that in college. Come on.
Oh, I waxed in college. Are you kidding?
Yeah, no, don't. Yeah. But what I mean is, don't shave it.
Oh, don't shave it, yeah.
Wax it.
I've had full bikini wax. And
I've had it all waxed off before, too.
Oh, yeah. And then do full Brazilian. I do a full Brazilian every month.
Mm-hmm.
Which is odd, because, like, you've got to hold your butt cheeks open for them to wax your ass.
Yeah, but the butt part doesn't hurt.
No.
It's the front part that hurts.
It's the front part that hurts.
Take a shower a couple of hours before you go get waxed.
Oh, that's fair, to open your pores.
Mm-hmm. It's so much better that way.
I normally just take an ibuprofen and a shot.
No, just take a shot. No, seriously. All you have to do is, like, an hour or so. I would go an hour and a half before you go.
Open
take a shower.
Yeah.
And it's so much better.
I've only done it for vacations.
But see, the thing is, like, I only do it sporadically, right? And
so,
like, every time I do it, it's like starting over.
No. Again, take a shower about an hour and a half before. I do it, because I've done it every month since college. I don't like...
But again, what we're saying is, don't shave it, friends, because that's how you get, like, ingrown hairs.
And then you might cut yourself, and it's awkward, and you can't get everything.
And I gotta say, I've done that a decent number of times, too.
Although... Okay, I don't know if she wants me to say this. One of our friends, she lasers hers all off.
Yeah, I did the just regular bikini laser thing, and it kind of burned me. Like, it caused discoloration.
I fully groom it, but also, I grew up in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
In Southern California, where it's sunny and shiny, and you can go to the beach all the time, wear a swimsuit regularly. So I was always well groomed, because sidebar story, a person I used to know, we hung out at the pool, and she did not groom. Granted, there were other issues with her. I don't know how we were friends. We stopped being friends. She's the female version of Sheldon Cooper. The best. And not Amy Farrah Fowler fun. She was not. She was Sheldon Cooper. We went to the pool one day, and we're just hanging out. She stands up in her swimsuit, full bush. And I'm just like, oh, God.
Full 70s bush?
Yeah, like full ungroomed bush. I'm like, okay, if you're gonna wear a swimsuit and you know you're gonna wear a swimsuit, either like trim it down, contain it, make sure your swimsuit covers your bush, or I don't know, get your bush in the swimsuit.
Yeah.
No one needs to see your bush.
No. Not the whole bush.
No, she stood up and apparently all she did was yank on a swimsuit. Bush everywhere.
Ooh.
Ungroomed.
Ooh.
Granted, this is the same person who gassed me in the car on commutes to work.
Oh, I remember you saying that. Ooh. Okay,
Toxic
anyway.
farts.
Oof.
But yeah.
Anyway.
So again, female version of Sheldon Cooper. No, worse than Sheldon Cooper, honestly, because Sheldon was endearing.
Sheldon would have at least probably been somewhat mortified if he gasped.
Sheldon groomed. Like, as nerdy as he was, he probably groomed. Anyway.
Not down there.
And so they go into all of the fucking sex and stuff, and he's like, you're not a good girl, you're fucking filthy. And I'm like, well, yeah, she's fucking you all over the damn place.
She came in a dildo 4 times, of course she's
and
fucking
she's
What
masturbating.
about you? I don't know.
She's masturbating in the... What about me, what?
No, not you. I mean him.
Yeah.
It's like you're
Yeah, you're having sex with a 20-year-old and there's at least a 10-year age
and
gap.
you're letting her blow you in the library.
Yeah.
And play with your dildo.
One of you is a dirty human.
You're both dirty humans.
Not
Yeah.
that we're judging, because we're okay with that part.
No judgment zone, but again, this is like really a little...
But
I don't know, man.
Okay.
But this is a fun quickie book, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Then, like, he's got his hand in her, too. Like, fingering her. And, like, he pulls it out, and then, like, she licks him clean.
Yeah.
And so he's like, oh, that's fucking filthy and all that stuff. And so they're fucking.
Okay.
Maybe he should have licked it up. I don't know.
Well, he already ate her out. So he likes eating her.
Okay.
And then she shows up in his office again while he's grading papers.
Okay. And they just, like, sweep the papers off and just start fucking right there on the table,
not
right?
quite. She sends him dirty photos of her, like, fingering herself in her jeans and stuff. Comes into his office, asks him if he likes it, because, again, she's 20.
Yeah.
And, like, drops her backpack, pulls the jeans off, like, whatever. And he, all of a sudden, snaps to, she's pregnant with my baby.
What?
Yeah, and it's this image, and he can't get out of his head, because he's like, he wants to breed her and claim her.
Oh, God.
No.
No.
And so, like, they haven't, her pants aren't off, they're, like, down, so he's finger fucking her. And then, so she's so horny, she can't deal with it. And I think at this point, she is, in fact, wearing panties.
What?
The one time she wears panties.
Yes, because she's in jeans, so she's wearing panties.
Okay.
She hasn't worn panties any of the other experiences. Why would the presence of jeans make a difference?
No, it's so weird. And then as he's fingering her, he sticks a finger up her ass.
Oh, no, you gotta ask.
Yeah.
You gotta ask that sort of
Well,
thing.
she does.
She's like, put it in my butt.
He starts rubbing on her butthole. She's like about to be like, I've never done it before, and he's like, you'll like this, and does it, and she's like, oh yes. And again, you have to, like, separate note, you have to ask it. Boys, guys, men, you gotta ask before you do butt stuff. I'm sorry. Like, if you...
And butt stuff is not for everyone.
I enjoy it.
It's not for everyone.
No, it's not. You just, again, I got lucky, and the guy who was fucking and did all this stuff has had experience with it and really likes it, so he knows what to do. Like, there's a lot of lube involved, a lot of prep.
I've never had any experience that I prefer on that end, but...
It's not for everyone. And
yes.
let's be honest, all the smutty books talk, or like things where guys are into anal sex and stuff, not everybody is. Not every man is.
Mm-hmm.
No.
You don't have, it's not a requirement.
No.
If you're into butt stuff, great.
9 times out of 10, it's more weird than it is enjoyable.
I can come from anal.
Yeah, but that is, again, one of those, you had someone who was really experienced in it, right?
And so he was the first, he wasn't the only. I've had another one, but granted.
But otherwise it just comes off as just really weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta use lube.
Yes.
And you've gotta prep, and it's not a quick thing. It's
very much not enjoyable without lube.
And it helps if you've already orgasmed a time or two before you start doing the butt stuff.
Yes.
That kind of makes sense.
Yes.
You know? And so they do all of that. And then, so she's not fully naked and he's not fully naked. So they're like naked from the waist down. Or he only pulls his pants down. So
he pulls his monster penis out.
Yes, so he can pull his monster dick out, and she's like, he tells her to come ride him, and she doesn't know what she's doing because she's never done it in that position before. So he has to.
Yeah, but didn't she imply that she was going to ride him hard, or was it the other way around?
He was going to ride her hard.
Yeah.
Okay, so she has no idea what this actually.
No, she's
means.
only done missionary.
Yes.
Or doggy style because he put her in that position.
But he ate
You
her out.
just sit on it. You did it on the.
No, she couldn't figure out how to sit on it properly and get the right rhythm.
Which is hard.
It is, to be fair, it is hard to find the right rhythm if you don't know what you're doing.
It is very hard to find the
unless
right
you've ridden
rhythm
horses.
without, like, losing the dick.
And
I don't know. Maybe I don't know.
Look,
savant on that. I don't
no,
know.
sometimes you find the right rhythm, but some people I think can't.
Oh, okay.
I've ridden horses and honestly,
Some people just don't have the quad strength for that, to be fair.
for cowgirl, do it on a yoga ball. It gives you extra bounce.
Yeah.
You just have to make sure your guy has core strength.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're gonna fall.
It's just weird. Yeah.
It is
It's
a little
bad
weird.
time for everyone.
It's a little
I
weird.
haven't done that.
Yeah.
One of the guys I hooked up with was like a kinesiologist and like gym teacher and stuff, so he had the core strength to manage it.
Oh, yeah.
And it only
And the yoga ball.
Yeah,
Oh,
well,
yeah.
it only worked out well. It wasn't like awkward or weird, but he also did have a tiny penis, so he had to know how to like maneuver it properly. And the yoga ball helped get it like in. Yeah.
Yeah.
It had to be a real firm yoga ball.
Yeah. You gotta make sure it's firm.
You have to like almost over.
You can't have one of those. Yeah.
No, you don't want to fill it too much
Soft
though, because
over
it'll
the
pop.
bouncy ones.
Yeah, but you have to fill it enough that it like doesn't have too much give. Otherwise, you're literally just like fucking someone into a pillow.
Yeah. So he tells her to do this, and he has to explain it to her, and then also throughout all of this, no one's wearing a condom. She's not on birth control.
Again,
Do they say that? Oh God.
But again, this is a romance book, right?
Yeah.
And he
It's
is also,
college, like,
and he
you
is
know-
now also determined to get this woman pregnant. So
Oh,
you
no.
know,
But and here's the thing, like I don't know, all of the people I knew in college that were like sexually active and having sex, and we were all on birth control. Like we were
Yes.
all condom.
And
It was
use
condom
condoms.
confetti.
yes,
I mean, they hand them out for free everywhere in college.
Yeah.
yes.
And so
we had one of those. What is the word that I'm looking for?
Dispenser?
Well, it wasn't even a dispenser. It was
candy bowl.
Yeah, it was a vending machine that had
Oh.
condoms in it.
It's like candy bowl of it,
Yeah.
condoms.
Free
Yeah.
ones?
Yeah.
I don't remember if they were free or not.
There were free condoms everywhere in college.
They just handed them out in like the square
Yes.
at our college. Yeah.
It's like condom confetti. If
Yeah.
you're gonna throw confetti, just throw condoms because
Yeah.
everyone's protected.
But they made it super easy to get on birth control at them
Yeah.
And so he's like
too.
fucking her, and then he sticks his finger up her, and she
Okay.
comes, and like okay, she's fine
Okay,
with it.
sure.
And so
Suspension of disbelief.
right, she cut to later that evening. They have a date at his house.
Oh.
She brings a loaf of bread because she can't even buy wine, and he's like, oh my god, she's so young. But he's making her his signature like chicken whatever cacciatore dish or whatever.
Uh-huh.
And then they fuck again. And, like, she blows him, and then he eats her out, but his cum is still inside of her while he does it. And
Can we talk about the loaf of bread? Because that is a really weird fucking thing.
That's
to
a
take
weird
to
thing to
date. I'm sorry.
Well, it was the dinner at his place. He's
Yeah.
making, like, chicken pasta or whatever.
Okay.
And
guess.
she was going to bring
But
a bottle of wine, so she brings a loaf of sourdough.
But I understand that. But still, like, if I could not buy wine, and went to the grocery store and was like, "What should I bring?" My first thought would not be a loaf of like French bread,
To go with, like, the Italian meal? Bread's not a bad thing to go with Italian
but it would be
meal.
like
She
ice
didn't
cream.
know what she was eating!
But it would be
Oh.
like ice cream or something. Like I would bring something like to complement it, not just like,
Or maybe
hey,
some whipped
here's
cream.
here's a loaf of French bread that you can put in my vagina. Let's have at it.
Then whipped cream?
Yes.
Okay.
He's making chicken marsala, which actually is really good, but I don't know.
Chicken, like, chocolate
yeah.
sauce? Or?
Delicious. No.
But like, so she like they come over and like, dude, we're an hour in and we're like most 3/4 of the way through the book because
Almost
there's still
there.
more happen. There's still more that's going to happen.
Oh my
Oh,
It's gonna
God.
be more
Okay.
unhinged.
Wrap it
So
up.
we're
Let's
trying
do
to
this.
well we have to get here because again this is the fun book to be unhinged. So it's okay if this one's a little longer.
Okay.
The last quarter of the book is even more unhinged than the entirety of the rest of the 3/4 of the book.
There's DP.
Oh God.
What?
Yeah, I'll explain it when we get there.
Did you say DP?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we'll get to that.
Yeah, so they're in the office, they're in his apartment, she's blowing him again, and then she's, like, he eats her out with his cum still up her, and he's, like, so turned on by it. And so then they talk a little bit about him going on archaeological
Digs.
yes, and how like he doesn't pack great because she's going home for winter break.
Is that where he finds his Roman dildos that he gets recreations of?
I don't know, maybe
to fuck his college age student girlfriends with.
And so she, she's covered in ice cream, and they fuck while she's covered in ice cream. Okay, another side.
And the bread is never mentioned again.
No. She brings a loaf of bread. They never mention it again.
That is never mentioned again.
It's one of those things, like...
It's like the car. It's like the car.
Okay.
What the fuck happened to the bread? That's the name of the episode.
And so she's packing to go home, and then her professor finally shows up at her apartment, and they fuck all over the apartment. Okay. It's the first time they've seen each other naked.
And your roommate is very conveniently not there.
Her roommate's already gone home, and she wants him to fuck her in the butt, so she can feel him leaking out of her on the way home. Is like essentially what they say.
You can leak out of the normal hole too.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. I mean, not that you can't.
But he doesn't.
Okay.
Because
why not?
It takes more than...
He's suddenly grown a conscience.
No, it's because there's more prep time that apparently is needed. To be fair, but you don't need multiple times. Like, if you do it right in the first time, but it takes some time. Like,
okay.
No, it absolutely does. Yes.
And so then, while she's gone, they have lots of phone sex, video sex.
Okay.
She fucks herself on the dildo multiple times in the shower and whatever.
At her parents' house?
Yes.
Okay.
Sure.
So, Laurel has her hand over her face, like, what the fuck?
Sure, the 20-something knows how to hide her sexual proclivities from her parents.
She has the dildo suction cup to the bottom of the shower while she's fucking it. I'm sorry, but on the bottom of the shower...
Okay.
That's a deep squat. Like,
yeah, girl.
No.
See, you're doing
okay, but you can't...
I was thinking more like...
Listen, you can't get your... No.
Wait, how are we doing? Like...
We're testing this on Confetti Johnson.
Put it on the Kindle. It doesn't suction cup to...
Yeah, suction cup into the Kindle.
Yeah,
figure out how to,
like... suction cup to...
Like, how do you do a deep squat? But she's on her knees. She said...
but, like, you can't get your knees far enough apart in the bathtub without, like, laying your chin on the lip of the tub.
It doesn't make any sense.
I don't know. When I was a little younger, more limber, I could totally go all the way down.
Here, throw me the Apple Pencil. I threw it. But, like, it doesn't, like...
By the way, dildos do not suction cup to carpet.
No, obviously. But, like...
They do suction cup
and
to
this
tablets.
They don't say the dildo has balls on it. So, like, she's, like, fully, like... I don't know. Like, it doesn't work. The physics don't work.
So she's, like, basically, like, hitting her cervix with the dildo in the bathtub.
Like, she's sitting on her, like, the back on her heels.
Is this, like, one of those, like, giant fucking jacuzzi tubs or something? So
no,
she
it's a shower. It's like a walk-in shower.
Oh, no.
Because you need, like, a big square. Like, a normal bathtub shower would not be wide enough for, like, the knees.
It's like a big shower.
Okay, now I'm following.
But it's still, like, getting, like... To get, like, she's on her knees, but it's all the way in her, and I'm like, I'm sorry.
Is she like a gymnast or something? Can she, like, do the splits? Because that's, like, I've never been that flexible.
If you can if you're back sitting on your heels with your knees, you can get close.
Yeah.
But you still have, like, this much space.
So it's gotta be a monster one, because, like, you gotta be 2 inches
like, it's fully seated in her, though.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have any mention of whether or not there are balls on it.
I mean, yeah.
Well, ours has balls.
Yes, but not every dildo has balls.
Not all of them
like
do.
the monster ones that we've seen, the thick, girthy ones don't have balls. Because there's too much dildo, not enough...
Okay, yeah, but, like, when you reach the tentacle porn part of your dildos, like, generally they don't have testicles. Like,
and then
tentacles do not have testicles.
No.
Dicks have testicles.
Right.
Yes.
So... She goes back to school, and he is
not a literal monster.
He's lurking outside of her apartment, waiting for her parents to leave.
Oh, for God's sake!
And they don't think that's weird.
Well, he can't.
Her parents live in an apartment.
No, her parents are dropping her off back at college.
Oh,
and so he's lurking around her apartment. They don't notice him. She doesn't notice him because he's off in a corner like a stalker.
Okay, that's not fucking weird or anything.
That's weird.
That's really
so
weird.
So he shows back up, and they fuck like normal.
Okay.
So it's nothing totally...
I've just been hanging around the parking lot waiting for you to get back so
and
you can fuck.
Like, fucks... Well, he doesn't let her come until... She can't come until he says she can. So, he's edging her. Which can be intense.
Yes, and gets extremely frustrating after a while.
And so they do all of that, and then
you just get mad. And that's even harder to, finish.
And then he's edging her because he's gonna fuck her in the butt.
Okay.
So they do that, and she comes and whatever. So that's, again, fairly straightforward. And he spends the night, and then the next couple of weeks, they literally fuck all over campus.
Yeah, okay.
In his office, in the library, in the faculty room, in the faculty office.
Nowhere is safe.
And, she does it one day where she's super, super horny. She's not wearing panties again, in a skirt, lubes up her ass, and sits on his cock.
Okay.
No prep work. Literally lubes it up, goes in, sits on his cock.
That ain't fun.
Takes his cock up her ass.
That ain't fun.
And then runs into another professor who alludes to the fact that Professor Sharp, or Ethan in this book, fucks undergrads.
Yeah.
Duh.
Obviously.
But not just the one undergrad.
He's done
I
this.
guess there was undergrads plural.
Yes, reputation for just fucking undergrads.
Yes.
Instead of the actual reality that he only did it once.
So he's like borderline pedophile.
He did it once.
And then she's not the only
and
one.
the one that he fucked was a senior, so she was the senior.
It's okay, she's 21.
She was the undergrad that he fucked previously was a senior, and he was younger when it happened.
It's okay, she's 21.
Right, so they were close. I think it was when he was in his graduate. He was a TA.
Okay.
So this was when he was in his PhD phase.
Yeah,
so
there's less of an age gap there.
And
but still,
and then she freaks out.
There's an imbalance of power.
Because she's not the only one.
Because she's like, oh my god, I'm not the only one. So she freaks out at him.
Yeah.
And
okay, listen. How do you get good at sex? You do it.
You practice.
Okay. Okay.
So she freaks out at him.
You can't be upset at someone for being good
and
for having a sexual history.
Yeah.
She freaks out at him and confronts him, and he's like, she won't believe him that she's like,
I'm mad that you weren't a virgin because you asked me to fuck me in the butt.
And she's like, you're fucking other undergrads. He's like, no, I'm just fucking
not
you.
Not right now.
And I only
have in the past, but not right now.
He's trying to be honest with her. She can't believe him because, again, she's 20 and they don't date. They just fuck.
They just fuck.
Yeah.
Look, you're just a fuck buddy, honey. I'm sorry, but that does not imply that you can now go be mad at your fuck buddy and be like, I'm mad at you because you're fucking other girls.
But you also should have had that conversation. Are we only fucking each other?
Or if we're not,
you should have that conversation with anyone.
Yes. Or in my case, if you're in a...
Just so you know.
Because STDs are a thing.
Yes. Look, fuck whoever you want. Yes. I've been in a pseudo-open relationship before. It's okay. As long as you all have the conversation and condoms.
It's all good as long as everybody is on board with it and everybody's
clean, safe, consensual.
Yes.
And so... This is when he finally has a conscience, goes to his direct chair.
Oh, now he brings a conscience in the last 10%
and he goes,
and
he's like, I'm in a relationship with a former student of mine.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And then this...
so now he goes to the ethics committee and
tells them, I'm in a relationship with
I've
my
been
student.
fucking the undergrads.
I've been fucking a undergrad.
Just the one.
Just the one. Just the one. The rest of them,
but she's not my student anymore.
Yeah.
Yes. And then so Melody gets an email from the department chair and goes and has the conversation. And the guy is like, was this coerced? And he's like, no, she's like, no, I wanted it. And I was like, okay. And there's nothing in the documentation at this college or university that says you can't have a relationship with your professor, but you do have to get a new advisor.
Okay, everybody here, raise your hand if you did or wanted to do one of your professors.
Oh, definitely.
Yep.
No, my major had no hot professors.
Oh, well.
Yeah, that's fair.
My roommate did have a relationship with her TA our freshman year of college.
Okay.
I had fuck buddies my freshman year, so I was good. Like, there was a guy in our dorm. So the way my dorm was 3 floors, men, women, men. And there was a guy downstairs that had his single room. I fucked him the day we moved into the dorms.
I had more hot high school teachers than I had hot college professors. To be fair, but I think there's sort of the high school teachers were younger than the college professors were.
Yeah.
And of
course they would be.
I had an outlet for my horniness in college that didn't require professors.
I did too, but also I had a couple of hot professors. To be fair.
I was an engineering
But there
major.
was also a 10-year age gap there, so it was okay, they're hot, but I didn't have sexual fantasies about them.
I dated a lot.
I was an engineering major.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
They're all old white
See,
kids.
I got to try a little bit of everything with my major, so
look, I had a good time because the guy who was the single, God, he looked like a meathead, but he was an engineer, and he was a little bit of a pothead, but we had good sex. I think we fucked for a good half of freshman year of college.
Okay.
Like, we literally fucked the day we moved into the dorms.
Back to the book.
Anyway, back to the book. We're almost done.
Back on topic.
We're almost done. So everybody comes like clean, whatever, and everyone's fixed. She calls him. They meet at the apartment. This is the last like uber sexy scene.
Okay.
And he's like, he tells her he loves her and she loves him. Of course, it's a happy ending, but he gets her naked and he's like, his goal is to make her come as many times as possible.
Was she or was she not wearing underpants? I need to know.
Doesn't sound like it.
Of course not.
Why start wearing them now?
Exactly.
She took her jeans. He took her jeans off.
Okay, but I thought she wore underwear when she wore jeans.
Yes. That one time, but this time there is no mention of underpants.
Okay, gotcha.
So this time she's in jeans but no panties.
She's prepared.
Okay.
She's not. I don't know what the hell is happening with the underpants. She's only worn underpants once this entire book.
Precisely once this entire book.
And so now he's like eating her, like making her come as many times as possible. And then they start fucking, and then she's like, "What are you doing?" And he opens her drawer, gets the lube, and pulls out the monster cock.
Okay.
That
he's known about?
The monster
dildo.
No, I guess the purple dildo that she's video chatted with him.
That's fair.
That video, like, fair. Phone sexed with him with, right?
Yes.
And so this is where we get into the double penetration with her. With the dildo. That's the same size as him. That's apparently a monster dildo. So he sticks his dick in her ass. Oh. And then slowly fucks the dildo into her vag. Mm-hmm. But before all this happened, she makes a statement of like, I can't believe my Roman history professor is eating my ass out. Oh, I'm sorry.
I can't believe my Roman history professor is double penetrating me with my monster dildo.
Now she says that?
No,
I mean, she should have done that like
it was
a billion
before the monster dildo ended up in her vag while he was in her ass. He was eating her ass. I'm sorry, that's not something that does it for me. Like, I don't mind the butt sex. No.
Okay, but like, if that is what you're going to do, that is what you are going to have your characters doing in the book, pre-care, like,
and aftercare. There's no talk of aftercare.
Wipe the butt. Talk about wiping the butt.
Shampoo, like, do a shower.
Okay.
Because that is not
venereal diseases are a thing, friends. Like.
Yes. And so he's like, do you trust me? And like, again, remember, this guy is massive. She can't get her hand around it. This dildo is monster. And
now she's putting the monster dick and his dick in her butt.
Well, his monster dick is in her butt.
And he's putting the
monster dildo in her vag.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
it's like, and apparently for her, that's the most romantic thing he's done.
Girl.
Oh, God.
Because he's fucking her with the dildo and his cock, and he's like, I love you.
Girl, you're confused. You're conflating romantic with sexy. Okay?
There's been any romance. It's
I
not
love
a romance,
him so
but
much.
Exactly.
And like while he's doing this, and she's
also like this is a very coordinated college professor who can both fuck her in the butt
and use the dildo
and do it with the monster dildo.
And so
I'm impressed.
While they're all coming, they confess their love.
Okay.
They date, and then they get married.
Does he get her pregnant?
And then she's pregnant.
Okay.
And she gets into her PhD program, but she defers because she's got a baby. And then they talk about it when there's an epilogue where it's like she's got the baby and she's working on her stuff and they're drinking wine at home.
And she's working on her PhD in Roman dildos.
Whatever. And he wants to put another baby in her because he really got horny when she was pregnant.
Well, you can't do that with your butt.
Yeah.
The dildo needs to go in the butt this time.
Don't work that way, honey.
Mm-hmm. And so that's the whole thing. And the baby is, I think they named the baby something Roman.
Augustus Romulus or something.
Well, no, let's see.
Like that.
I think the baby's name is, where is it? They mentioned the baby's name and I can't find it.
Oh, man.
But again, there's lots of dirty talk and it's so unhinged. Oh, they don't talk about I swear I remember the baby's name in it. And I realize the timeline is off.
If they did not name
everybody
that baby
should put in the
Caesar.
comments, what would be a good baby name?
Well,
a good Roman baby name.
Yeah.
Well, he was telling her the story of, Flavia. The baby's name is Flavia.
Oh, is it a girl or a boy?
Girl.
Oh, okay.
A baby girl.
Helps.
And so in this epilogue, Professor Sharp, or Ethan, tells the story of Romulus and Remus, even though, one kills the other and stuff.
Yeah.
But, yeah. It's unhinged. It's a lot of fun. They try to do, yeah.
I feel like there's a missed opportunity for them to have a boy and a girl and name one Cleopatra and the other one Mark Anthony.
Right? This is so...
I am still
such
stuck
a
on,
fun read.
maybe
And,
Nero.
Yes, there you go.
Here's what's weird. The timing,
Okay, but that's like asking for it if you name your kid
Exactly.
Nero.
the timing of this...
No Neros,
This
no
one
Damien.
said...
No.
So this is what's weird for me, though. This was, the copyright on this is, 2016. But I remember reading it, in 2008.
So maybe a
2009.
re-release.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so it was unhinged and just kind of raunchy and...
Kind of raunchy.
It was really raunchy, but it wasn't, the right kind of raunchy.
But it was just a weird kind of raunchy.
So, I've had this for years. So, obviously, for me, it was a swallow, even though it was unhinged, because it was a lot of fun.
Fair.
And it was a 4 chili pepper.
Okay.
For me, things that are 5 chili pepper involve multiple dicks.
Yeah.
Not a dick and a dildo.
Yeah.
It's pretty spicy, though.
It is pretty. It was a very spicy book, and it's a nice reprieve from the not so spicy that we've had the last couple of books.
Yeah.
It's a fun read. It's so silly and unhinged. And, Parker Gray does a great job with the sexy time. It's a little unhinged. Some of the physics and geometry
A little
doesn't
unhinged,
make sense.
girl.
Doesn't make sense.
That's a lot unhinged.
But that's part of the fun
It's a
of
lot
these books,
unhinged.
right? We
Yeah,
love them
that's
because
fair.
they're unhinged. That's why
fair.
they're entertaining.
The more unhinged, the better.
But yeah. And I don't mind the age gap romances.
I think I struggle more with the power play.
Yes, the
age
power
gap. So
dynamic.
there's age gap and then there's a power dynamic.
Yes,
and
this
I
is
think
age gap plus power
there's
dynamic.
age gap and there's power dynamic, and when you kind of mix the two of them together, that's just a weird.
Yes, it is weird. The
turn
college,
off.
and for me, the college professor and student, aside from maybe one or two, this book and maybe a couple others, it never did anything for me.
No.
The boss subordinate was a little bit more something that I was willing to deal with, but
Yeah, but at that point, they're both generally consenting adults.
Yeah.
So both of them are over the age of 22, 23.
Their frontal
Usually you're
lobe has
graduating when you're
developed.
21, 22,
Yeah.
right? And even then, there's a certain amount of power,
Just so
imbalance
many of them, the
there.
woman doesn't have power, and it's not really my... I don't know. I
It
know
comes
most
off
of
as
them
a
are that
little.
way.
It comes off as a little almost when it is a professor and a student, and there's that big of an age gap. It comes off almost as he's taking advantage of her age and inexperience.
yes, but in this case, she really fucking wanted it because
Sure.
she's not wearing panties.
Look, the girl put on underpants a whole once in this entire book, so that's fair.
It was at least a semester.
Yeah.
Plus the epilogue.
Does she even own I mean, clearly she owns at least one pair of underwear.
I think they mentioned her getting her panties too wet kind of situation, but in the most of the book, she's not in panties.
I mean, you do you. If you just don't like to wear underpants,
That's
you
fine.
do you, man.
In my leggings, unless if I'm at home, I'll wear underpants. But if I'm working out, fuck the panties.
I mean, I don't always wear them to bed, but
Considering I wear a t-shirt to bed, I wear underpants.
Yeah, 99% of the time.
Especially because I have a dog that likes to stick her paws in weird places when she sleeps with us.
I woke up with a paw.
I woke up with a paw in my ass crack this morning.
Oh.
Yeah.
And sometimes when she stretches...
Yeah, but co-sleeping with dogs is always a little dicey.
Yeah.
I've definitely been, kicked in the face.
Our fur baby does not sleep with us.
Yeah.
Our fur babies do, and she likes to snuggle on the sofa, so I've ended up with a paw in my vag.
Yeah,
Okay.
mine
Gotta
likes
wear
to,
underwear.
Mine likes to be the little spoon, but also he likes to kind of kick me in the face in the middle of the night.
Claire knows our little one likes to kick in the kidneys.
Kidney kicks, man.
But she also likes to punch you in the vag.
Yeah, I got kidney punched when I was house sitting one time. The big one fell out of the bed.
Well, he's a big derp, so.
He's a big derp. But it also made a very large crash that woke up the other two.
Yes.
I don't know how you guys ever did it with
We used to have 2 large dogs rather than a large and a medium.
You and Douglas and 2 big dogs in a queen size bed.
Yeah.
I don't know how you did it because I cannot share a bed with a 23-pound dog and not be like, bitch, you get your own side of the bed, man.
Anyway, that was their book. That
What was the name of the book again?
School Me Dirty.
Oh, yeah.
And it's part of a series of called Get Dirty. And there's 6 books. 4 of the books are one-on-one, and then there are 2 multiple partner books.
So do the same characters carry through the School Me Dirty, or is it all different?
That's all different
stories
characters.
about,
There's
dirty this and dirty that.
yeah.
Dirty.
So some of the books.
And nobody wears underwear.
I don't remember. I read some of the other books when they were all on Kindle Unlimited, but they're not anymore.
Panties optional.
But there is a Boss Me Dirty. So it's the boss and
okay.
There's a Cowboy Dirty.
Cowboy Dirty, I like.
There's
a
a Royal Dirty.
Yes.
Ooh.
There's a Menage Mountain Men Dirty.
Ooh.
And then there's a double Dirty Royals Dirty.
Double Dirty Royals.
Whoa.
So yeah. Parker Gray, it's a fun, if you want a fun, unhinged, dirty read, again, it's smut, so, and it's a 4 Chili Pepper smut for me. Look it up. Yeah. Not on Kindle Unlimited, though. It used to be, I don't know why they changed it. For a while, you couldn't even find the book.
But still, I mean, if it's like a $5 book and this is your thing and it sounds like something that you're interested in, please.
Go for it.
Pay for it. The author gets a little bit of a kickback when you buy it on Kindle.
I mean, come on. We're trying to support the authors.
We want to support the authors.
Unhinged or not, or whether or not we enjoy the book, we still want you to support them. Because, look, let's be real. Writing a book is not easy.
It's fucking hard, guys.
And we want people to do it so we can read them.
And we want these people to also make a living so they can keep writing unhinged
that we can talk about.
Panties optional books about college professors and their students.
Yes. So, listen, and subscribe wherever you do all of the things. We're on social media. We have a webpage. If you want us to read better books or other books, Patreon gives you an option. We'll let you vote on future books and future reads.
And if you have totally unhinged books that you also want us to read and talk about,
yes, that is something we've been discussing, and we do want. Let's put this out there for them. Every 3 months, so.
Oh God, here we go.
So 1 month out of every quarter, we will do the wild and the weird. These are going to be the unhinged, the monsters, the cryptid,
really weird
stuff that's not the mainstream man woman, man woman. Not the usual romance novels.
Give us your weird shit.
This is the monsters. This is the fairies. These will be the shifters and vampires. The high fantasy that's maybe unhinged.
Super weird. Not just the normal. Fantasy.
We might talk Cthulhu porn. There's a whole genre of Microsoft Office Assistant clippy smut.
Oh God.
And it's once a quarter we'll go through and do some of the unhinged stuff because why not? It's fun. Most people don't read them, and hey, when you're drunk and you want to talk about weird ass books, it makes it more entertaining for everybody.
Look, nothing is off limits here.
Well, there's some things, but we'll talk about them when we get to that. And none of the shifter romances involve them fucking in animal form. The monster porn is a different thing. The shifter porn is one thing. It's real animals, sort of ish. I don't know. When we get to it, we'll let you know. Okay. So again, listen, subscribe, and we'll talk to you later.
Thanks for listening.
Bye. Bye.